Parents, teachers, grandparents, and caretakers. Thank you so much for coming back again and again and again. 2 episodes, we started something very interesting. What are some of the roles that we play with our children, right? That's what we talked about. The first thing that I said was 0 to 2 years. You know what it is? Did you didn't see the episode? Maybe you can go back and see the episode. I said a caretaker. And then 2 to 5 years, you are going to be the trainer. Now it's very interesting if you see it, the way I've split it, 0 to 2 years, and the next group that I'm talking is from 2 to 3 years. I should probably say 3 to 5 years, right? That's what I'm supposed to say, but I said 2 to 5 years. Why? That change that's going to happen, the transition that's going to happen, there's no definite that, oh, on this day the child became 3 and that's why the transition happened. No, it doesn't happen that way. Every child is very different. Every child grows very differently. The way they think, the way they grow, there could be some children are a little slow in the way they grow, some children are very quick in the way they grow. Whatever is the ways, the transition happens during that time. The 2 to 3 years old, at that time the transition happens. So we talked about the trainer, 2 to 5 years old. And another role that you take when they're 5 to 7 years old is the role of a teacher. This is where you teach. This is where the child probably is starting to go to school. And the child has started attending the school, they come back, you spend a lot of time teaching them. Now, during this time of you being a teacher, again, be very careful about how careful you are in how you begin to build their inner script. Now, this is not a time to give them big punishments because they didn't do very well, or put the expectations very high. Your uncles, that Anna, you see, he didn't study properly and that's why they are there, he's like that, you don't become like that. No comparisons, no expectations. I'm going to say that again and again and again. Celebrate that child. As a teacher, you teach them and say they might make mistakes. Maybe they didn't score some good marks. That's okay. You say, that's okay, but let's see how you can do it. Maybe I will help you out. Maybe you may have to work with this. So be very intentional about in how you begin to teach the child. Be involved. This is a time where slowly the parents take off, saying, okay, now the child has started going to school. It's fine. Be there. When you are dropping the child or when the child is going to come back, have conversations. This is an amazing age. This framework, this time, this group, that 5 to 7 years old, they will be very talkative. They will come and share about everything in school and things like that. Understand one very important principle. As long as they keep coming and sharing, you are in safety. Let them come and share, because you will be able to read between the lines. You should be able to read between the lines on how they see things and how they begin to have their influences, what are their perspectives being formed, and you're able to immediately dig into, oh, this is a perspective that she is forming, maybe because of this influence. Then you're able to deal with that influence or deal with that perspective. Oh, she's having this perspective. Oh, she's beginning to see certain things. Oh, I'm beginning to see that she's starting to have fear. The child will start forming fierce behaviors during this time. When I say fear behaviors, because of they're afraid about something, they begin to lie or manipulate, or they begin to steal, or they begin to hide and things like that. They are not actually bad behaviors. They are actually fear behaviors. They're afraid. So you need to really, I can't emphasize that enough, you need to secure the child's inner script at this time. You being a teacher, taking the role of a teacher, get involved with the child. Do some creative things. This is a time you need to spend a lot of time doing some creative stuff with the children. Enjoy and find out what they are very good at. Things. Again, no pushing here. I see a lot of parents saying, oh, at this time the child very young, I want to my child needs to be a prodigy and has to go into music, has to go into this. Let's not live our dreams through our children. Let's not live our dreams through our children. We have to be very careful that we begin to understand who the child is, their uniqueness, the way God has made them, their uniqueness of their speciality of who they are, and let's celebrate who they are. I said this in one of these sessions, our children don't belong to us. We are partnering with the Lord to raise these children up. We are partnering with the Lord to raise these children up. We need to understand that very clearly. So, as a teacher, we affirming them, appreciating them, able to celebrate their strengths, not so much digging onto their weaknesses. We know some of their weaknesses. It will come out. They'll become a little clumsy. They will drop things and things like that. And that's where, as a teacher, you begin to teach them. Have conversations. We need to learn to express, especially with our children, expressing why we did what we did, what it is. And sometimes they may not even understand. They will ask, why? Oh, so is it like that? Is it like this? And that's the journey that you will enjoy with your child. You need to enjoy with your child. And the child needs to, this is the time where the conversations begin to happen, expressive conversations and intimate conversations, deep conversations. That's where you're beginning to build a very strong attachment with the child. Very important to build that attachment. And please understand, as a teacher, you need to have some rituals that you need to set in place. Again, that's a different topic altogether. I'll do it on a separate episode. Rituals on how do you put them to sleep, how you're going to wake them up, who's going to be there in receiving them when they're coming from school, when they're going out, on weekends, what's going to happen. I can keep adding to it. I'll talk about rituals later. You need to put some beautiful connecting rituals, not disconnecting rituals, meaning somebody else do it and I just sit and watch. No, connecting rituals where you're connecting with the child. It's very important that you begin to do it. I think I've spoken a lot on this episode. Thank you for being there. Thank you for being there. Go back and see some of those episodes. And those episodes are amazing. We talked about a caretaker, a trainer, and today we talked about being a teacher. God bless you. Thank you.